Today is the disappearance day of Srila Jiva Goswami. His father was a very, very great and pure devotee of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, as was his two uncles. There were three brothers. The eldest was Sanatan Goswami, the middle brother was Rupa Goswami, and the youngest brother was Ballabha. Jiva Goswami was the son of Ballabha. They were also very, very powerful, wealthy ministers who had the most important imaginable responsibilities in the kingdom. In fact, they ran the whole kingdom of Bengal, which was ruled by the Mughal conqueror, the Nawab Hussain Shah. But he would not make a single decision without consulting Rup, Sanatan and Ballabha. He had complete trust in them because they were so learned and they were so pure in heart. And because of this, and they were such loving devotees of the Lord, everyone completely trusted them. And the Nawab Hussain Shah knew that as long as he had Rupa and Sanatan and Ballabha as his ministers, all the kingdom of all Hindus would follow him gratefully, because they could not refuse from following these great souls. So actually he forced them to accept the position of his servants. But they were always longing to be free from serving this demoniac king and becoming completely dedicated devotees of Lord Krishna. Of course, they were completely dedicated, but they wanted to directly engage in devotional service. So they were writing regularly to Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Actually, they were incarnations of the topmost maidservants of Sri Radharani from Goloka Vrindavan. So they could understand that Krishna and Sri Radharani had appeared in the divine incarnation of Gauranga. So they would write so many letters to him. Please, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, tell us, what should we do? We want to become full-time devotees, but we have so many terrible responsibilities for this king. And they were getting no reply to their letters. They wrote again and again and again. And finally they received a reply from Lord Gauranga, which essentially said, a very short note, that if a wife is attached to another man than her husband, she will serve her husband very carefully so he does not suspect. So you should continue your duties, but always be thinking of Krishna. Always be thinking of your real lover. And in his time, he will rescue you. So they went on with their service, longing for that moment. And then Lord Gauranga, he especially made a trip to Ramakeli, which was the kingdom of the Nawab Hussain Shah. He was on his way to Vrindavan, but if you see a map of Bengal, it's actually quite out of the way from Vrindavan. He especially went there just to deliver Rup, Sanatan and Ballabha. So because they did not want to create suspicion in the minds of the king, who was a Muslim, who was not at all respectful to the Hindu culture, in the middle of the night, they secretly went to the place where Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu was residing. And while they were there, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated them. He gave them the names Rupa and Sanatan and Ballabha. And also, he told them that they should leave their kingdoms and come to Vrindavan. He showed his special mercy. And Rupa and Sanatan and Ballabha, how they prayed to the Lord, how they humbled themselves at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. But meanwhile, it is explained that there was a little boy, tiny little boy, the son of Anupam Ballabha, who followed behind his father and uncles and was secretly watching and listening to the whole exchange between Lord Chaitanya and them. And simply upon seeing the beauty of Lord Gauranga and hearing his munificent words, his entire life became dedicated to serving his lotus feet. Just a few moments of seeing the Lord, his whole life was transformed into pure devotional service. You see, children will always watch what their parents do. If they see their parents humbling themselves before the Supreme Lord and the great Vaishnavas, it has a profound effect in the heart of little children. Of course, in the Jiva Goswami's example, this is a very super excellent manifestation of this principle. So he became completely detached from any material enjoyments. While other children would like to play, he didn't care to play. His play was this. He would construct with his own hands beautiful little deities of Krishna and Balaram. Why Krishna and Balaram? Because you see, when he was in Ramakeli and he saw Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda was with him. He had the beautiful darshan of Gauranitai. And as we were singing, Brajendra Nandana Jay Shachi Shutta Hoilo Se Balarama Hoilo Nitai. After he had their beautiful darshan in Ramakeli, he had a beautiful dream where he saw Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda appear before him. So he naturally became very attracted to the worship of Balaram and Krishna. So these little deities, he would spend his whole day just caring for the deities. He would bow down before them, tears flowing from his eyes in ecstatic love. He would collect various flowers and fruits and offer it with pure love to Krishna and Balaram. And then he would gather his friends together and he would serve them prasad. And he would love to clap his hands and to dance before the deities and to chant the holy names before the deities and to dress them and to bathe them and to decorate them with sandalwood and whatever other ornaments he had. His life was completely immersed in the service of Krishna and Balaram. He would never part from them for a moment. Even when he would go to sleep at night, he would embrace them and sleep with his two lords upon his chest and his arms. One night, he had a wonderful dream. In this dream, his worshipable deities, Krishna and Balaram, appeared before him. And he began to worship them and offer them his love. And right before his eyes, Lord Sri Krishna transformed into the beautiful form of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gauranga! 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 And Lord Balaram so graciously transformed into the beautiful form of Nityananda! Nityananda! Nitai! Riva! And little Jiva, he began to weep in ecstatic love and he fell at their lotus feet. And Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu placed their lotus feet upon little Jiva's head, and then they disappeared. And when they disappeared, he was cast into the ocean of separation. And from that time, he was practically day and night in lamentation, weeping and weeping and weeping. His father left his government services and went to Vrindavan with Rupa Goswami. But as Rupa Goswami and Balaba were coming to Jagannath Puri to meet Lord Gauranga, Balaba left this world to return to the spiritual world. And hearing that his father had died, Jiva Goswami was utterly disinterested in anything of this world. He only had one desire: let me go to Vrindavan and worship Radha and Krishna with my uncles Rupa and Sanatan. So he was longing and he was praying in this way. And when people would see his ecstatic love, they were literally struck with wonder. How this child? He had all the symptoms of a Mahapurusha. Beautiful, elongated lotus eyes, a wonderful complexion, arms that went beyond his knees, high forehead and broad chest. And he was just an embodiment of love. And yet he was always bitterly crying in lamentation, separation from Gauranitai.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on thesacredconnect.com.